Hello guys, and welcome to Really Good Vlogs. This is a health update, so I'm gonna try not to drag this video out. It's quite difficult for me to talk about, hence why I don't want to be talking about it for long. I'm sorry, before I start, I've got the camera on my hand, in my hand, so I haven't got it mounted on a tripod, so it's going to be a bit shaky, so I'm sorry about that. So 2 weeks ago, when I was, maybe it was 3 weeks ago, when I was at the Great Chef's dinner, the following day I went to, I think I told you all, I went to St Thomas's Hospital to get my stump checked out. And when my consultant looked at the stump, she seemed seen a few growths that she didn't like the look of. Her heart instantly sank. I'd seen these growths a few days prior, but because I'd had the amputation, because I thought that was the end for a little bit, at the end of, going back and forth to hospital and the cancer, I was sort of, saying to myself, oh, it's nothing, they've amputated my arm, it's all good. But she done the biopsy, she wanted to do a biopsy, and then a week later it came back that the cancer was back. So, yeah, I've still got cancer. Well, has it been now? November, I got this all started with this cancer. So, 2 operations in, one being a really big one, an amputation, and I'm still not clear of it. And to be honest, they're running out of options in terms of what they can do, and that's what I want to talk to you all about. So, chemo isn't really great in people with EB, because if they give a full amount of chemo, what they'd give to a regular person, it would basically it would kill me, because it would break down my immune system, and my immune system is already weak. So yeah, it causes all kinds of problems, and I wouldn't survive it, basically. So when they do give chemo, they've got to give it in very low amounts, hence why often it doesn't work. Now, the drug I've been raising funds for, this is why I go on to you guys all the time about helping me out with the #FightEB campaign, because now more than ever I really need that drug. But unfortunately, I'm like 6 months too early, well, 4 to 6 months too early. We're nearly at our target with the fundraising. We're nearly at 250,000, which is what we needed. And that was great, that's great, and I'm thankful for everyone that's donated and stuff like that. But it's not just the money that we need, it's also, well, it's not just the money that, is going to bring this drug to market and to the clinical trial. Obviously with our system in the UK, there's a lot of red tape, health and safety, ethics, etc. And it's not as easy as in America. It's not as easy here as in America and other countries to start clinical trials, because they just really take the time in making sure that it's all safe before they give the go-ahead for the consultants, the professors and the hospitals to start. And in one way I think that's brilliant, because it shows that we're a safe country and we're not going to put anyone in danger. But in another way I think when you start a clinical trial, you sign a dotted line to say that you know the risks involved, you know what may happen. So I think it should be your choice. Well, it is your choice anyway to sign that line, even though, you know, one of the risks might be death or, you know, paralysis or whatever it may be. You sign that dotted line, you go in that trial knowing what is going to happen to you or may happen to you. So that side of it, I don't think this should be so much red tape. I do think it's wrong that it takes so long for the government and these governing bodies to give the green light to start these clinical trials. We all hear of, you know, children and young adults going to America, going to elsewhere in Europe to take part in life-saving clinical trials or to get these life-saving drugs. We never hear on the news of people from them countries coming here, and I think that sums it up. That shows you that we sometimes go a bit slow and there's a bit too much red tape in terms of where health is concerned and medical issues are concerned and stuff like that. So WheelyGoodVlogs, like I say, I've been raising money for it. We're nearly at the target. I know for a fact they've had great results in the lab, and I know that the money I've raised for this drug is going to help all the kids now that are growing up with EV, so that's a great thing. You know, it's cancer that kills us, basically. It's cancer that we end up getting at around my age, mid-20s, early 30s. So, you know, I'm really proud of the work I've done. I don't give myself enough credit. My mum and dad and my family and people I meet always say, you know, how well I've done. And I just don't, yeah, I don't give me, I'm myself's biggest critic. I'm out with that. So yeah, I don't give myself enough credit really, but I am proud of what I've done, and just proud that it will, and I feel good that it will feel great knowing that it will help future generations. So, but I'm also gutted, you know, I was also raising the money for it to potentially help me too, because I knew the cancer would come back, and unless, you know, we can get the drug some other way by finding a loophole somehow, or, you know, going to a drug company and asking them to donate it, and, you know, or going to what do you call it, the Houses of Parliament, and campaigning to get the drug out sooner. I don't think it's going to be out unless we do one of them things, but I don't know how easy that would be to do. So yeah, like I say, this cancer's come around 4 months too early in terms of getting that WheelyGoodVlogs, and I'm gutted about. So now I'm going to tell you all about my prognosis, well, what options I've got. So I met with the oncologist a few days ago actually, and to speak about the options. One of them is a topical option, so it's chemo, small amount of chemo, that is zapped, I suppose that's the word you call it, into my tumours via an electric shock. So it's called electrochemotherapy. So yeah, same as lasers, the way that that's quite topical, it goes directly onto the skin. This is similar, but it's chemo. It's not a laser, it's chemo they're putting into the tumours. They never really told me how successful they've been with that in the past, because I don't think they've really used it on anyone with EV, or I think they may have used it on 1 or 2 people. But how you know if that works is if the tumours on the stump turn black and fall off. That's how you know it's been successful. So yeah, like I said, that's just getting rid of the tumours, but it's not. Who's to say, you know, the cancer isn't throughout my body? So it's not going all throughout my body. This chemotherapy, that method is just topical to get rid of the tumours, slowing the process of growth down. The other option, well, there was 2 options. There was, and it was a drug from the Ukraine. I don't know what it was called, but it was a type. I think it was a type of chemotherapy, and they've had promising results on people with my type of cancer. But the oncologist did clarify that when she's talking about, you know, the success rate, it's in people without my condition, because there's just not enough of us to do these trials on, because the conditions were, so they've got no data to say how successful it is in people with my condition. So when the doctors were talking to me about these treatments, the data they were giving me was on people without the condition, and it's been quite successful. I'm not sure the percentage, but it was quite high, of like slowing the cancer down, and in some cases getting rid of it. However, it all depends. As I say, there's been no proof of what it does in people with my condition, but also the success rate depends on a certain level. I forgot what the level was, but basically the biopsies they took of my tumours, they're doing tests on them, and there's a certain level that they look for in the results. I think they like dye the tumour, and you analyse it that way. Oh no, sorry, not dye, stain. They called it staining. And if this level, I wish I remembered what it was, but I don't. If this level is over 50, there's a bigger chance that the treatment will be successful. If it's under 50, they've realised from the data that it's not usually as successful. So they're currently doing them tests now. So I'm just hoping that, I know that, like I said, they haven't done research in people with my type of condition, so we don't know how successful it will be. But because I know that it helps people in regular people without the condition, I'd like to, well, I'm hoping that my levels are over 50. So hopefully we'll find that out sometime this week. No matter what, I can take, even if my levels are under 50, I can still take part. Oh, sorry, not take, I was going to say take part in the trial. It's not a trial, it's a treatment. I can still have the treatment if I wish to. And the other was, and sorry, you have that so I have that for 6 cycles of this chemotherapy or drug, and each cycle is every 3 weeks. So I'd be in hospital for every 3 weeks with that. Now there was another option which was a similar drug, just works in a different way. However, that meant I'd have to have the treatment for longer than 6 cycles, but not only that, I'd have to be in hospital every week with it, once a week. Now obviously I know I've got this cancer, but I want to continue enjoying life while I can. So that was, as soon as they said that, even if they had said, you know, it's got a higher success rate than the other drug, I would have said no, because I want to go on holiday while I can and while I'm healthy, and I don't want to be in hospital every week. So that was pretty much a no-go straight away. So now I was faced with, you know, this chemotherapy drug and the topical electrochemotherapy. So I asked, you know, if I took part in one of them, if I chose to have one of them, does that mean I can't have the other one in the future or whatever, you know? So, and they said no, you know, you can't have them both at the same time, or, you know, we can try both options. So I've just, because it's, you know, an easier type of thing to go through, I've chose to first try the electrochemotherapy. That'll be 1 day in well, 2 days in hospital the first day, and it'll be a one shot. It won't be like the chemo where you've got to go to hospital every 3 weeks, or, you know, there's 6 cycles or whatever, however many cycles. This will be just one operation, and that will be it. It either works or it doesn't. So yeah, I'll go into hospital, have the operation, which is basically, I think I just get my arm numbed, or I get sedated. It's not a big operation at all. I won't be asleep for it, and then providing I'm okay, I'll be home the next day. The only side effect of this one is, so there's like chemotherapy where you get, you know, often feel sick, there's hair loss, you get diarrhea, you have flu-like symptoms. It's just a whole list of side effects. With this one, the only side effect, and it doesn't happen to everyone, is nerve pain. So often people get, well, I say often, I'm not sure out of how many people that have it, what amount get this side effect, but he said not everyone does, but some people do. It's basically, as I said, nerve pain, and it's meant to be pretty extreme, the pain, and it can last for anywhere from a few weeks to 6 months. So yeah, that operation can leave you in a huge amount of pain. However, the doctor asked what medications I was on, and I've recently been put on a nerve pain medication for my phantom limb pain, and I'm on obviously morphine, ibuprofen, paracetamol, fentanyl, a whole list of painkillers. So he thinks if I do get it, it won't be as bad as it is in other people, which is good. And the side effects, oh sorry, so yeah, before I get on to that, if this doesn't work, I'm gonna choose to go with that other drug I told you, which I have every 3 weeks in hospital for 6 cycles. So yeah, that's it on the amount, the treatments really. So I know that all them treatments are just to slow it down. I know that this is me now, and I've got cancer, and I'm most probably never going to get rid of it. But because of my outlook on life and positivity, my happiness, and my stubbornness in not letting go of the fight, and, you know, my need to continue to fight, I asked the doctors before I went into the appointment, and my nurses, I warned everyone that I didn't really want to know how much time I've got left. I didn't want to know how fast it would spread, because I believe if they said, you know, and I don't, this is just a guess, or I'm just throwing this number off my head, I don't know how fast it spreads, and I don't want to know, but say they said, you know, you've got 6 months left before, you know, it gets pretty bad and you lose your battle, I think I'd be more likely, because I know that, I'd be worrying about it, I'd be stressing over it, and that, which would make me give up the fight almost. Not, you know, not willingly, but subconsciously. Whereas if I don't know what's in store in the future or what's ahead of me, I think, well, I know I'm going to try and fight as much as I can. And I'm going to continue to go on holiday. And I'm going to continue to enjoy myself. Yeah. And the reason I've chose this, you know, not knowing how fast it's going to spread, etc., is because, to be honest, and this, don't know if this is going to come as a surprise to some of my family, but and friends, because I'm also always so happy and brave and cheery and positive. But every time I think about death and dying, leaving everyone behind, and what's in, you know, the afterlife, etc. Sorry, I'm getting pretty deep on this video. I shit myself, to be honest. I'm terrified. So yeah, that's why I'm choosing to keep positive and happy. So I'm sorry that this has been a bit of a serious video, and I'm sorry to be having to tell you this, because I know since my channel's began it's just been depressing news after depressing news after depressing news in terms of my health, and like I say, you guys have had to put up with watching it. So if at any point at all you feel you can't deal with these videos about my health and, you know, these depressing videos, please just unsubscribe and just don't watch them. But for the people that do stick around and do come with me on this journey, I thank you all, and I couldn't do it without you all. We've got some cool things in store over the next few days. Tomorrow I'm going somewhere extremely special. Let's just say it's the biggest house in London. I don't know if that's right, but the biggest house in London. You can't often you can't go in this house, but people look at it from the outside, wishing they were in there, very jealous of the people that are in there. And I've been told it's got a huge garden, and in the summer they throw garden parties. So I'll let you keep guessing. I'm sure I'll just give it away. So yeah, I'm going there tomorrow, which I'll film beforehand and after it. I doubt I'll be able to film in there, so if I do, that's a bonus. But I'll document my experience and tell you all about it. So that's a video to look forward to. The day after that, I'm going to be on Good Morning Britain. So yes, please everyone, Sky Plus Good Morning Britain on ITV on Tuesday morning. Hopefully I'll be on, well, hopefully, I don't know why I said hopefully. I think I'm going to be on around 8 o'clock, 8:20. So yeah, if you're up, watch it. If you're not up, Sky Plus it, because I'll be on there talking about my experience at this big house, I'm going to. And then, obviously, we're waiting to hear about a day for treatment. I will definitely document treatment while I'm in the hospital, to let you guys know how I'm getting on. And then we are going on a 3-week holiday to Rihas, Calahonda, by Malaga, by Marbella. I usually go to Marbella, but someone has kindly, a friend of ours, has kindly given us their villa for the whole, well, 3 weeks in March, for me to go and get some respite in and some much needed rest. So yeah, I'll definitely film most days while I'm in Calahonda. So yeah, that's what's coming up, and thank you for watching this tough video. It wasn't easy for me to do. So guys, remember, stay happy and keep smiling.